Alright, we're back with this. I've been bullied into doing this today, although I didn't really want to. Jeez, this is loud. Why is this so loud? Oh. Oh, God. Please work properly. Okay, this seems fine. Seems fine. Now, where did we leave off?
I feel stronger.
Oh, really? Do you?
I'm gone.
God. No. Why is this still so loud? I feel like all of this is way too loud. Okay, we talked to Pox. We got these guys here as well. Frightened Hive Dweller. Let's talk to him. You see a man in tattered clothing. As you approach him, he suddenly stops and begins to look around, frightened. Ah, let's mess with him. You there! Hold a moment. The man looks startled, then takes a step back. Eh? What you be wanting, Cutter? His voice is shaky, and he seems taken aback by your scars. I've nothing on me, so's I don't, and my rags are not worth the trouble. Calm yourself. I am not here to rob you. I had some questions. He keeps a safe distance and his eyes dart from side to side as if expecting something to step out of the shadows. Questions, yes? See, this is why I didn't want to do this today. Questions, he said. And what might those questions be? Can you tell me about this city? What do you want to know about Sigil? Is it Sigil or Sigil? Sigil, I think. Sigil, yeah. Sorry. City of Doors. He's not saying anything useful, I reckon. I thought he was given a quest. Have you seen the journal? Never mind. You're missing a what? Now, the secret of Sigil is that it's actually Britain. Current year. Obviously. You know someone named Farad, he's a collector. There's the rack picker square, okay. Can you tell me about these slums? It's around here of interest. Depends. I'm looking for work. Precious little. Precious little. Honest work to be found round here, Cutter. You can hunt some brain vermin for some coppers. Pass them off to the branch office of vermin for some jink. To hear tell, but messing with the brain vermin is dangerous work, though. You can also gather some deaders around the hive. Take it to the mortuary for some jink. Yes, I know, I've noticed. Okay, brain vermin. Success, indeed. I do know about all this. He licks his lips as you turn to leave. Cutter, you might think, studies you for a moment. You could spare a few coppers for blood to help you on your way. Not many around here do that for a fella. Enough for a man to wet his tongue after all that talking, eh? Give him a copper piece. I'll tell you in a second. He glances around to see if anyone saw the exchange, then tucks the jink in the folds of his robe. Thank you kindly, Cutter. Made the lady's shadow pass you by. Wait a minute, lady? What do you mean? The mistress of Sigil. You've not heard of her? You must be blessed or more cruel. He was gonna say clueless. Hey, know little about Sigil indeed, he laughs weakly. Ladies' word is law here at Sigil, he thinks for a moment. Except she don't say much. Dead silent she is, actually. Some law. He looks at you warily. Don't want to be talking too much about her, Cutter. You don't want to cross her shadow nor be singing her praises, alright? Now let's say no more about it. Written in your bone books about the lady is dim indeed. Farewell then. I did a lot of stuff. Maria's got corona, so I had to help her out a bit there. And then I also went shopping. For a bit. And then the road back was kind of bad. It's just a lot of people taking the trip down here for some sea air. And you know, they're all kind of too relaxed for my liking on that road, you know. I have to overtake a lot. It's like a second job now. God damn it. Let's talk to a Davis. You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. Its skin has a greenish cast and a pair of goat horns protrudes from its forehead. It is dressed in long flowing robes and appears to be floating slightly above the ground. Is that Britain or what? It is Britain. Current year. Cutter. Greetings. The creature turns to face you and a series of symbols appear around its head. The symbols have a slight glow about them and they just hover there. Oh, for the power's sake, piking Dabus. What's wrong? He's a Dabus. They speak in rebuses, these annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or some other way to communicate with him, if we want to. An annoying bunch. My bet, they can speak, they just would rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What's a Dabus? Is there janitors for the Lady of Pain? They float around breaking, fixing and patching up Sigil according to her whims. They're worse than corpse flies, Morty sighs. You can't swat them enough. You can swat them though, or the lady will get upset. Lady of Pain. We just listened to the guy talk about Lady of Pain. She's pretty scary. She runs this city. You'll know if you see her. She's got those blades around her face. She's about the size of a giant, and she floats off the ground just like these guys. Morty nods at the Dabus who's looking at you both. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. I see. This is quite a thing on its own, as you can see. The Dabus waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialize above its head, then they vanish and a question mark appears. These dialogues are indeed much more complicated than in original Sin. This is an audiobook, man. This is a book. An interactive book. It's what it is. It's a good one, too. It's a good book. Not a very good game, probably, some would say. Because you see the mechanic... Well, you'll see later. We're yet to get into any fights. Try and strike up a conversation. See if you can translate what the Davis is saying. And you get a lot of XP for that. Most XP in this game come from dialogues. That's a blessing and a curse. But sometimes you're talking to some dude, and you remember some shit or whatever, and you get 12 million XP and you level up 12 million times. We're not leveling up yet. There is a trick here. I don't want to level up yet. You ask the Davis several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebuses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. After a few minutes, you start to get the hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Maybe you can help me. The Davis waits. Who are you? The Davis inclines his head slightly, and a stream of symbols appear above its head. I am a Davis. Okay, I have another question for you. What are you doing? I attend to my duties, he says. I had a question for you. Can you tell me about Lady of Pain? A lone symbol appears above the Davis's head. This one shows a metallic female mask with blades coming out of the sides. Just looking at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. That's all I wanted to know. Farewell. I just did it to get that XP. Basically. Frightened Hive Dweller. Hive Tout. Hive Dweller. Dustman. No point talking to those. Who is this? Bane the Sender. Let's talk to him. He's giving quests or something. You see a heavy-set man with sharp features and a pained expression. Despite his huge frame, however, he has an effeminate look about him, and unlike the other residents you've seen, he looks to have bathed recently. As you approach, he looks up hopefully and calls out in a high voice, Craddock? Good sir? What? His hopeful expression dies as he studies your face. 1,000 apologies, good sir, if I had given offense. He gives a slight bow. I am called Bane the Sender, third child of Bane the Sender. Interesting. I am one of the many runners in the employ of the House of Senders. No apologies necessary, Bane. What do you want? 1,000 apologies for troubling you with such a trivial matter, but I see Craddock, an overseer in the hive. Bane looks like he's in pain, but alas, he eludes me. He looks at you hopefully again. Could it be that you have heard of such a man? I'm sorry I have not. Bane gives a deep sigh. I'm bound to deliver a message to him, and as of yet, fortune has chosen not to favor me. Well, I might be able to find him and deliver your message for a price. Bane's face lights up like a lantern. Of course, good sir, if you can find this Craddock and pass along the message, I shall pay you for your troubles. Alright, what's the message? Bane recites the message almost like a mantra. The shipment must be incursed by the 3rd day, or there will be a penalty. Bane frowns. I am told that Craddock will know of the shipment to which the message... okay, he doesn't do that anymore. Okay. He's said to be a giant of a man. Stern features that he's an overseer in one of the hive marketplaces. Alas, I know little else than that, good sir. I see that's enough to go on for now. Bane bows. Thank you, sir. Should fortune favor you and you are able to bear the message to Craddock, be so kind as to return and tell me of it. I will see to it your efforts are rewarded.
Updated my journal.
Updated my bloody journal. Okay. Who's this? This is a dustman. This is the post. Harlot. We need to see the harlot. This is a hooker, my friend. This is a real-life hooker. Look, she's looking pretty good, right? You see a tired woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. The odor of cheap perfume surrounds her like a cloud, and her face is covered with a mask of crude makeup. They have makeup in this fucking world. She smiles as she sees you. Why don't you stay and chat with me a bit, love? Greetings. The woman looks coyly at you. Now you look to be a blood who's lost something. Mayhap I can help you find it, Cutter. She smiles slightly. Oh. What good fortune! We probably lost what we were looking for. Back at your kid, miss. Maybe you can help me find what I'm missing, miss. Her tone becomes businesslike. Hey, love. Now there's the matter of finder's fee. I see, how much? Some coppers for a glance at what you're missing, and 10 coppers to actually find what you're missing. Pretty cheap. Done. I think you've found what you're looking for. Come along then, love. I'm getting some action. Wow. Follow her. That's it then, Cutter. That was quick. Mr. Nameless One, you are a quickster. I had some questions for you. Well, now that I can concentrate. So apparently she was also very good. But then again, this man might not have had sex in millennia. I had some questions for you. The woman frowns. I'm not a tout. She frowns, then rubs 2 fingers together. Unless you've got some jink to pay. I can pay you how much for a handsome basher like yourself? She gives a wide smile, revealing a row of dirty teeth. Ugh. I hope he didn't like French kiss her or anything. This is disgusting. 3 coppers will be enough to loosen me tongue. She licks her lips, then frowns. Other questions of a deeper chat will cost you more, though. Sounds fair. Here's 3 commons. Aye then. Slips the jink into her palm, where it promptly vanishes. Now, there are some things I wanted to know. Can you tell me about Sigga? What is it? Where exactly is Sigga? Where is it a wash? No, I'm looking for a certain dialogue option. I'm looking for work. What else is around? Looking for a good time. Find ahead other questions. Tell me about Lady of Pain. Another question. Looking for something Farad. Here's 9 commons. She doesn't actually, oh, yeah, she does tell you where he is. Attic Picker Square. I've never went into this much asking of her. I thought it was all just hogwash. Looking for a journal. Okay. Actually, never mind. Farewell. Year loss. Chief, can you spot me some jink? It's been a long time, it has. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not even going to ask how you intend to accomplish this. The woman breaks in. It's twice the cost for the Mimmer. Or any other degenerate. Mimmer? Mimmer's a talking encyclopedia. That's me, Chief. I see. Well, don't sweat it, Morty. From the looks of her, I'm probably saving you from dying twice. May a pox shrivel your innards. Okay, I need to read this properly. May a pox shrivel your innards. You have the stink and fashion sense of a goat head, and you're twice as ugly. Oh?
New taunts, alright.
Morty stares, hypnotized as the harlot lets loose a stream of obscenities. At the end of the verbal avalanche, Morty is silent for a moment, then turns to you. Wow, Chief. Got a few more taunts for the old arsenal. He turns back to the harlot who is catching her breath. I'm also in love.
What's up? Okay.
Now, what did we achieve with that exactly? Oh, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, this used to work completely. The enhanced edition is way, like, some of the things are way different. Special ability of Mr. Morty is Litany of Curses, and we've just upgraded it through this hooker. Litany of Curses interrupts mages and other things of this sort. Now, Mr. Post. This filthy looking corpse is in sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. Yes, it is absolutely okay that the skull follows me everywhere. He is a talking skull, yes, everybody does see him. He's a party member, you know? I'll show you in a second. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. I thought I was in bad shape. Don't all those nails hurt? The corpse makes no response. Examine the corpse. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd guess that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in the skin still have rocks and bits of glass lodged in them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of its head. Examine the graffiti and notices. I don't remember if any of these are important. I'm gonna quickly kind of skim through them. This is fair enough, I know. I know about that. Office of Vermin and Disease Control. We're gonna go there later. Bill of Fare. Smoldering corpse bar. Reminds me of a job I once had. He seems embarrassed. Well, I mean, without the arms. I wonder if this would work on other notices. Oh, I think he just shows you the way. Official notice. Public notice by the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the citizenry of Sigil, let it be known that those defacing a registered servant of the dustman either by graffiti, malicious attack, or by posting notices will constitute felonious assault, and the perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant. I think they mean the corpse. Examine the other notices. Want ad. Gathering dust bar. Okay, I don't think he's got anything else except the cobblestone. So let's pry out the cobblestone. You grab a hold of the cobblestone and pull it out of the corpse's head. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh slowly drip from it. It looks like whatever was in its head turned to ooze long ago. Leave the corpse in peace. Now, this is a polished cobblestone that was lodged in the zombie's skull. It still has traces of brain matter dripping from it. Does this item have any meaning? I don't think so. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't do anything, as far as I remember. Now, I promised to show you what this skull is all about. Now, you've got an eyeball.
Don't want to part with that.
He doesn't want to part with that. There's this. You can have an earring, you can have tattoos and shit. The skull, however, is just a skull. Beautiful background, much better than the original. They did rework this. He has got a tooth. That's all he has.
Can't part with that. I'd rather hold on to it, thanks. If I could part with it, I would. Can't part with that. In case you didn't notice, Chief, those are my teeth.
Marty. Whatever. Now, who the hell is this? Ingress. Yes, we do need ingress.
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of the debtors.
You see a haggard woman wrapped in rags. Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burns cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted, like wax exposed to a great heat. Greetings. What is it you want me? The woman's accent is thick, and you're having difficulty making out what she's saying. You want me to leave? Not leaving the city, so I can't. I tried. It's not a city, it's a prison to everywhere. Everywhere. There's worlds, there's... Her eyes gleam madly. Plains, there'll be sinking sands. Fields, thirsty nettles be. Sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate. Cities of dust, whose people are dust and whisper ash. The house without doors. The twilight lands. The singeing winds. The singeing winds. You look disgusting. Fuck off. Go watch someone else. In a good way. Okay, I like you again. It is supposed to be disgusting. Like, this is the aesthetic of it, basically. The art is very good, but it's supposed to look shit. This world is shit. And you are shit. In many ways than one. She starts to sob quietly, but she seems all out of tears. And shadows, the terrible shadows there be. Where are these places? Where's them places? She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape. There's all here be. Doors here to everywhere. Doors? Good band. You're not knowing this? She squints at you and her teeth start chattering. Tell you I will. Beware every space you walk through or touch in this thrice-cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the spaces between shelves. Beware any space bounded on all sides. All these are doors to other places. What do you mean? Every door has a key, does, and with this key they show their true nature. An arch becomes a portal. A picture frame becomes a portal. A window becomes a portal. All eager to take you someplace else. They steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand. And sometimes what's on the other side takes part of you as tithe. As a tithe. What are these keys? The keys number as many as the doors of this city. Every door a key, every key a door. Her teeth start chattering again as if she's cold. And a key is anything. It may be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers, a thought 3 times, then thought once in reverse, or it may be a glass rose. I don't think someone bit her hand off. It's a lot of the descriptions here are vague, intentionally, so that you use your imagination, you know. This is actually my favorite way of storytelling. There's there's a lot of detail, but not quite enough. So you have to kind of fill in the gaps yourself. And these are all keys that open these doors?
Updated my journal.
Yes, her teeth start chattering and she clenches her mouth closed and squints her eyes. Yes, can't leave. How did you get here? She seems to calm slightly and her eyes take on 1,000-league stare. Came from a place else from here, almost a life ago, hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space between the crossed trees, showed me the city on the other side. I stepped through, ended here. Why can't you go back? Tried! She tries to sob again, but no tears come. Tried! All doors here lead to other places! She shudders and grips her melted right hand. Oh, it's a melted hand, okay. Went through tri-stand portals, some a purpose, some an accident. None of them right. Can't find way back. There must be a portal that can take you back. Can't even leave here, this square. And there, the place of death behind the gate waits for me. She points at the mortuary behind the gate, then turns back to you, her face desperate. Can't go anywhere in this city. You can't go anywhere? What do you mean? Anything could be a door. Any arch here, there, any door here could be a portal. Don't know the key. Could get sent to another horrible place. That's the first depressing story of many depressing stories in this game. Got to stay away from the closed spaces. All could be doors. Could have a key on me and I'll not be knowing it. You're afraid to go through any door or arch because it might be a portal? She nods, her teeth chattering. How long have you been afraid of this? She squints. Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where my hand... She stops. Since my 10th turning. I'm in my 4th 10th turning that now. Her teeth began chattering again. 30 years? You haven't walked through any door for 30 years? Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering. If you got here, there must be a portal that can take you back. Okay. She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she's cold. They're moving around inside her mouth. Her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, chattering as they rattle against each other. What? She hisses at you. Only takes one portal you step through an accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10, lost my hand, burned my flesh, and lost my sense. She looks at her teeth. No more, no more. I'm sorry, if I can find some means to help you, I will. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
This, at the moment, this is a quest, but it's a pretty good one. We will be helping this woman. Now, look at this bitch over here. This bitch ass bitch. She's got a little tail there. Hello, Anna. Pike off, she says. You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. Her right hand arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horn shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. And she tells you to fuck off, basically. Greetings. The girl ignores you. I'm looking for someone named Farrah. Do you know where I can find him? I might say more if you sweeten that question, eh? She clicks her tongue and rubs two fingers together. Jink, jink, eh? Jink, jink. She means money. Oh. Eh? She glances at Morty, then shrugs. What the skull say? Hard coin. I doubt you have anything I want to hear, but try me. Then I'll decide whether it's worth it. Bar that. I have nothing more to say to you, Beck. Get! You better watch your tongue, girl. It's coming off. You better remember that if we speak again. Hey, bike off to wherever you came from then. Farewell to you too.
I've never seen something so ugly, I've not.
She never seen someone so ugly. She's not. She hasn't. She has not. I never seen someone so ugly.
Maybe I can gut a Dusty.
Anna, it is amazing. We don't need to talk to any of the hive dwellers. They're just NPCs that don't do anything, don't mean anything. Oh, by the way, is it the journal screen? Yeah, journal screen. Now, this is a pretty good thing that they have here, because in here you can look up beasts. Hello, this is Anna, pretty girl. Here's the funny skull. And here's you. A bit angry, looking like shit. Kind of me on Monday morning. And then you got all these people. Pictures of a Dabus, I don't know. This is your ghostly friend. This is it's just a dude. A dustman, a giant skeleton. A normal skeleton. Now, this is the best one. Lady of Pain. Ah, small thug. Townsperson. Townspersons look terrible. They have seen a lot. But zombies look even worse. Look at that hair. Why? What kind of haircut is that? Anyway, let's go into this hovel.
I'm gone.
In this room, we have Mr. Anger and his wife. Where are you going, old lady? This man looks haunted. His eyes are half lidded as if he has had trouble sleeping. His hair is long and unkempt. His beard is flecked with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice you as you approach. Greetings. The man glances up at the sound of your voice, and his slack expression vanishes. It looks like someone has lit two fires in his eyes. What be your business barging into me house? His eyes narrow and his teeth clench. Get! Or I'll send you back to whatever grave you're killed from. Calm yourself, my man. I have some questions. The man's face turns blood red and he begins shouting. Are you daft? With a snarl, he spits at your feet. You filthy, scar-ridden dog. Off with you, or even the powers won't be able to save your hide. Farewell, then. The man throws a parting shot at your back. You'd best never cross me door again, you wretch, stinking bastard. We don't want to fight him. He's a tough guy. But we'll talk to his wife. She's a nice lady. This woman looks to be in her middle years. No, she doesn't. Well, maybe for this world it is. And her hair has streaks of grey running through it. Lines of worry crisscross her face, and as she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. Greetings. You'd best leave, for I call me husband. He won't take kindly to you having barged your way into our home. If you were going to call him, you would have done so already. She glances towards her husband, worry in her eyes. I have not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things. Excuse me, are you all right? Me? She seems surprised. Oh, hey. She lowers her voice. You'd best leave. My husband has not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence. I spoke with him. He seems troubled. What's wrong with him? He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of the cough, maybe. She gives an unconvincing half shrug. What's really wrong with him? I think he's done something he regrets. Her worried expression melts into despair. I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a foolish thing. Dead contracts. The dead, the dustmen, have contracts that give them the right to someone's body after they die. What do the dustmen do with the body after death? Animate it with their black magics. Turn it into one of the walking dead. Make it a worker till. She looks at her husband helplessly, till it rots away. Your husband won't need his body after death. What's the problem? The ghoulishness of the contract aside, it's his nature that's been changed. He's become sullen and dark since doing the signing, and he can't seem to rouse himself to look for honest work. It's like the lady's shadow hangs on him. Can this contract be undone? She looks at you surprised and sighs. I've tried. I've spoken to the dustman he did the signing with, but he's cold and chill like all the dusties. He even lectured me on my husband as if I had no right to try and help him. Her lips become a tight, thin line, as if picturing the dustman's face. He's cold, cruel he was. Let me see what I can do. Who is this dustman your husband signed the contract with? The dusty calls himself Gravesend. I know not his first name. He has a table at the dustman bar in the hive. Gathering Dust, I believe the place is named. You can most likely find him there trying to get more people to sign his contracts. Okay, I'll seek him out.
My journal.
I know where the bar is. And I will, yeah, I won't tell the husband. I won't tell the husband about all that.
I'm gone.
That looks nice, doesn't it? Nice archway. Another harlot. There's a lot of hookers around here, huh? Who are you? Hive Thug. I don't want to fight them yet. I'm really weak at this point, actually. And I've got like shit strength, shit everything. Anyway.
Chief, what are we doing here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, alright?
Morty, what do you mean?
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
How did you die, Morty? No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot when I died. Can't say I blame myself much. At least there was something waiting for me after I died, even if it's a life as a floating skull. I mean, it could have been worse. What happened to your body, Morty? Yes, Morty. What what the heck happened to your body, huh? I don't know, alright? It's just gone. Morty glares at you, but don't think I miss it, because I'm happy just the way I am, and I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks, alright? I see, alright. Okay, now this place. Oh, this place is small, but it has a shit ton of dialogue. Plus, I need to loot all this shit. What if there's something useful? Rags, yeah.
Can't run while I'm carrying all this.
Oh my god, this guy is just. Have the cobblestone Morty. I'll tell you what happened. Look at this. I got 9 strength. This is for story reasons and for XP reasons. This is the most important stat. For us, this is also an important stat, and charisma is an important stat. But these are the only things that we'll be raising. Blah 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 blah. There's a mirror with no reflections. Alright. Okay. Zhong! Oh yeah, this is interesting. This is your alignment. This represents your disposition towards good or evil, law or chaos. Current alignment is true neutral. This is why we're Zhong. True neutral characters believe in maintaining the balance of law and chaos. They don't tip the scales between the two and tend to oppose anyone who does. In the course of this playthrough, we will become good, but we would likely be neutral good, because it's pretty difficult to make yourself lawful good. And the only reason to do that is for a certain weapon that requires you to be lawful good to wield it. Now, it's a good weapon, but I don't want to go out of my way and, just be goody good shoes, It's not as fun. It's not as fun. Sometimes we'll just fuck about. Maybe we'll become chaotic good. But we are likely to be good because that gives you more XP. Terrible, isn't it? Awaiting death. Before you is a young dustman with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He's staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he's seeing something several leagues beyond the wall of the bar. Can he ask you still questions? The dustman doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then, Morty hisses at you. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. Fair enough. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? Now, since we can't, this is... let's just be a little bit of a... I really don't know. Do you want to die? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. His face wrinkles in disgust. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Surely leaving can't be as bad as you make it. There's a bleak outlook. This is living? He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue this charade any longer. Death is silent, comforting. Maybe after the first death. The dustman blinks, then sneers. The first death? What were you, resurrected? Would you like to see? What do you mean? It looks like he wants to turn away, but he cannot. You can't, seriously. Now, we will be doing this a lot. Take your hands and twist your neck. Now, you gotta be pretty fucking strong to do that, I feel. To kill yourself by twisting your own neck. Your vision slowly returns. Your death felt different this time. You see awaiting death standing above you. He looks horrified and fascinated. He has propped you into a chair and is looking apprehensively at the other bar patrons. They don't appear to have noticed or have mistaken you for a drunk. Convinced now? Are you one of the walking dead? No. Then what are you? I don't know, but I die and am reborn. Yet you still think, you still feel. Yes, but there's a hollowness. Something is missing and it eats at you, never leaves you at peace. To be dead and still think and feel. Will misery never leave a body be? The thought seems to horrify him. Even death is no release. Indeed, perhaps you should not be so quick to abandon this life before knowing what the next life holds for you. The boy falls silent, thinking. Eventually, he turns back up at you. Your words carry weight, sir, and a fresh perspective. I will do as you have said. That is all I ask. Live, grow old and burn. Farewell. So, we basically met this emo at a bar and convinced him that being dead is not all that great. Now, give me a bit of a... Give me a sec. And I'll be back. So, you know, a little break. I'll be back in a sec. Alright. Back online. Okay, so we saved one poor soul from untimely death. We did it not out of the goodness of our hearts, because our hearts are hollow. We did it so we could get some XP. We have HP anyway. Norwich, or whatever. You see a spindle-thin dustman in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning to his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. Dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Norwich. Initiate, Dustman, guard. I'm here about the posting outside. The Dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles have I. Help, can you? He's Yoda. A mausoleum awakes. The dead walk, the dead disturbed, the Dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead and copper coins will I pay. Where is the mausoleum?
Updated my journal.
That's another quest. Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to Arch and a semicircle above your heart with this finger. This make. He wiggles the index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum, go you will. I'll look into it then. Okay. Old copper eye. Old copper eyes. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. Ah, look who's come a-calling on you today. Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down, then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually. Joke. I'm not gonna joke. I'm a serious man. I'm fresh from the mortuary. That's so. She raises an eyebrow. Warms my ears to hear you gave that place the laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves. She sniffs. Too many cobwebs and dusty minds. You don't like the mortuary? Aren't you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. She sniffs. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decades. They've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. You don't sound much like a dustman. She shrugs. I guess the dustman robes don't fit me as well as they used to. What happened? She shrugs. Life, I suppose. It, never mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old do you take me for, old boy? Lie out of kindness. Rather youngish. Oh, let's flirt. She blinks, then smiles. Aren't you a dear? She chuckles to herself, then coughs. Well, I'm older than I look. Much older, she sighs. I've spent most of my life teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustman whelps grow within our order. Taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction, she frowns, and so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. And what happened? Well, a half-month back I went sick with a fever, she sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes a stern. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Sirius, so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life? That's when it struck me. That there's something, a queer expression comes over her features. Addled about not appreciating your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion. Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, and precious few answers. Mineral water, man. Doesn't sound like you believe in dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I have got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers and I haven't got them all worked out yet. Well, what will you do? To be square, boy? I don't know. Seer sighs. Oh shit. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Now we can do all sorts of things, because she'll listen to us. This sounds good. At the core of the Dustman philosophy is that this life is one of pain. It is a weapon that life uses against the soul to keep it anchored to this existence. Do not let this brush with the fever break your Dustman beliefs, so time will heal these doubts. So here I would treat this as a test of your belief. It sounds like these feelings are temporary. So if you had truly believed in Dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. Yeah. Just out of nowhere. Seer stares at you. There's actually no wrong answer here, to be fair. Maybe so, she frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more. You should, it's no small matter. Lana, enough of me rattling on about my woes. Seer stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Does it make you appreciate life a bit more? Alright, cheers. I'll be wrapping up soon anyway. I'm a bit tired today, and, you know. Watch the rest of it when you got time, if you want. Anyway, see ya. Well, my brushes with death are a lot closer than those of other people. I can't seem to die, at least, as far as I know. See your blinks, you're rattling my coffin. It's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out of a douche. She studies your face. If it's true, why does it happen? All I know is I woke up in the mortuary with no memory and covered with enough wounds to kill me 3 times over. Now, don't be saying that too loud, she glances around. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take until now. Oh, perhaps you could tell me something else? Something about awaiting death? Doll, is he dying? Sicker than a spotted dog he is. Not much sand left in the hourglass for him. So you go. That boy used to be a regular around here. Don't know what happened to him. Could be that he was shaken after his friend died. Explain. One of his friends was killed in the hive a few weeks ago, torn apart by rats. Messy business. Has Sergo always been a guide at the mortuary? No, only for the past few months, and last I heard he was just sent off for some missionary duty, but I don't know where. Oh, the dustman. Irene. Who? Irene. Can you tell me about that strange woman? Irene. Remember that. Who? A strange young woman, poor eyesight, near-deaf, talents for hands? Seer shakes her head. Maybe she's a new initiate. I've never heard of her. Very well. Forget it. Tarot. Collectors, yes, sure. Journal. No idea. Didn't crawl out of the crypt. Who's harmless? Okay, this initiates into it doesn't initiate the quest. Sorry, I was skipping this. I thought this was... it doesn't matter, but it's kind of fun. So we're asking him, her. So this guy's father, who is a coffin maker, he died. And we joke about it. Well, it doesn't sound like I'd like to be buried in one of his coffins then. Can you recommend anywhere else I could lie down and die? She barks a lot and rattles your ears. Ha! Not here, unless you want to die of boredom. What's wrong with here? Shh. Someone pinch your sense in your sight, boy? She waves her hand around the bar. Look around. What do your eyes tell you? A bunch of fun-loving dustmen drinking happily and conversing, merrily celebrating life to its fullest. You've got a clever tongue there, boy. Mayhap your tongue is cleverer than you are. Seer squints at you, then snorts. That explains the scars. But it doesn't explain why a dustman is standing here ridiculing other dustmen. Care to answer that one? Are you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. Okay, well we're going back to the same shit. Okay, zombie worker? So, doing anything later? The zombie continues to stare at you. Alright then. Great talking to you. Farewell. As you turn away, you notice Morty staring at you. Eh? Eh? What is it? Did you see the way the cadaver's beauty was staring at you? Morty's teeth chatter as if in anticipation. She was looking for some lucky cutter to store her coffin. Please don't start this again. Morty ignores you and becomes thoughtful. I don't really mind the attention, actually. It's just that I like to be seen as something more than just a skull, you know? I have feelings that go beyond my base animal instincts. I want courtship, not some fortnight fling around the mausoleum. Morty, you are a skull. Keep it up and I'm going to fling you somewhere. Whoa, Chief. Morty backed slightly out of arm's reach. Women, they appreciate lovers, not fighters. You are perhaps the last person I would ever take romantic advice from. If you had half the sense you died with, you'd know better. Morty's voice rises to new heights of smugness. When it comes to the annals of love, I wrote them all. Whatever, Morty, let's go. Fucking lover boy. Another zombie worker? Is he doing anything with her? Yeah, okay. Yeah, these zombies, none of these zombies, I think, do anything for us. Mr. Mortai Graveson. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. Greetings! The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure and he gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who's just getting their sigil legs about them, he trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly, are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken, Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Mortai Graveson may help you? Do you seek the contract, perhaps? Mortai Graveson, are you the dustman who signed the contract for Anya? Mortai frowns, he looks puzzled. May I help? He thinks for a moment. I do not recall the name, however. I would like to settle that contract. Mortai looks wary. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled, and binding. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. It is causing him distress. It is possible that he may not even be able to approach a true death with such emotions churning in his mind. Mortai chews it over for a moment. It looks like you've negotiated him into a corner with just one phrase. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feelings in order to reach true death. I cannot... So what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? Mortai sighs and holds up his hands as if to placate you. Look, it is not how you're making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the dustman in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of your faction know of your conduct in this regard? If not, they soon will. Mortai glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it. By the nine hells, wait here, he drops his voice to a whisper. And keep your bone box latched. He gives an angry scowl and stomps off. A few seconds later he returns. He's holding a dusty piece of parchment, which he gives to you. Here, he sniffs disdainfully, all for a man's peace of mind. Now be gone and nettle me with your preachings no longer. I will leave, for now. Dust, Katole, dust. Before you is a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with a chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copper Eye stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about it. Some questions? Copper Eyes saying nothing. Never mind. Farewell. Is that all? I thought he was. Oh. Very interesting. I thought this man. Maybe we'll have to visit him later. Zombie bodyguard. Alright. Mark? See a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with purpose? Who are you? I'm Amoric, factotum and initiate of the Fourth Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? Can I ask you the same question again? Can you tell me about the dustman? False life? Yeah. I heard something. I would like to join the dustmen. If you desire to join the dustman faction, I will hear your request. You have misjudged me. I have no desire to join the dustman faction. I merely believe that what the dustmen believe. Very well. Do you know our philosophy? Yes. Recite it. The goal of all dustmen is to reach the true death, oblivion. This life that many cling to with their emotions and passions is a false one. As long as one clings to it, one will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle. Do you believe in it? Then it shall be tested. We lied. Speak with Initiate Norwich. He is here in the bar. Return when you have done what he has asked you. Very well. Now, we've already spoken to him, and what he wants is for us to clear out a mausoleum, if I remember correctly. So for now, we're done with this bar. All you can order in this bar are dusty drinks, I suppose. Sounds disgusting. Angir. See, Angari doesn't look any better than before. As you approach him again, he turns slowly. Didn't you hear me? I spoke to your wife. I think I can help you with what? Well, you don't bothering me, wife. This ain't no flop house for whole chases. You'd best leave her alone and leave me home for a dead book gets a new name in it. Oh shit. Show him this dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of Angir's face. For a moment he seems to be at a loss for words, and then his temper quickly resurfaces. Where did you get that? By the powers, you had best tell me. I took it from a dustman named Multi. It has your name on it. Actually, let's just tear it up.
Updated my journal.
You tear up the parchment, and Angar's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders slightly, then straightens as if a great weight was lifted from him. Yeah. He looks like he's about to thank you, then stops and stares at you suspiciously. Nothing's free. Not in the hive, cutter. I might need a favor in the future. Could you help me? I ransomed my life to one man already, and I'm not about to do it again. He shakes his head. We'll settle the debt now. I could use a place to rest. That's the least I can do. I'll have me wife get some blankets out for you. Thanks. We didn't need to sleep, but why not? Well, met good sir, how can I help you? I was wondering I could rest, and can you help me out? Supplies. Needle and thread, and bandages. We don't need to buy any of that. But it's a good place to get those. Some questions? Can I ask you why you signed the Dustman contract? Perhaps it's the sheer amount of riches and wealth that surrounds you that distracted you, he snorts. We have less than nothing and I need a drink. Didn't seem to matter too much at the time where it might come from, and selling me body to the Dusties is a lot more honest than most work around here. What caused you to change your mind? It's just, he said, I saw one of them zombies on the street a half month ago. One of them zombies that work for the Dusties, and it stabbed me in the heart. I knew I'd made a mistake. I didn't want to be any part of that after death. Well, we all had our share of mistakes. I suppose so. He doesn't know. Can you tell me about it? He's a collector. He's a creepy crawler, man. Journal. Yeah. I'm looking for my journal. Imagine that. Oh shit, that's thugs. Don't need them. Okay. I think at this point, this is a pretty important area. The obsidian monument has names chiseled on it. We're kind of finishing where we've started, but that's all right because on Tuesday we'll continue from here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.